Welcome to the Lone Ranger Radio Show. You got Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage. Yes, I am the Lone Ranger. Man, I had a bunch of clients come in, new clients that had met me from the radio show this week. I just want you to know how much that means to me. When you come to my office and we meet, it means a lot to me. I know it seems to mean a lot to you. You feel like you're meeting this celebrity, but I am no celebrity. Trust me, I am not. I am, and as you meet me, you know, I'm just an average Joe. And you know what? But I love to meet people in person. I love to see who I'm helping. And I like to sit down and help you make money. I had a client came in today and he went over everything with one of my loan assistants. And then I came in and I stepped in just to look at everything. This guy is doing a debt consolidation on a refinance. I'm going to wipe out all of his debt. Now, his total debt's about $3,000 a month, including his mortgage. I got it down to about 1,500. Okay. He was actually saving $1,625 a month. That's what his actual savings would be by me consolidating everything. Then I told him, if you were to take that extra $1,600 a month and put it toward the mortgage, your mortgage will be paid off in 5.5 years. That means no mortgage, no cars, no credit cards, and you're ready for retirement. Isn't that the way we want to go into retirement, folks? Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage. If you want somebody that's looking out for your money, probably a little sharper than you are, believe me, because I have these conversations with my clients on a regular basis. So you want somebody that cares about you that much? It's going to bring it to your attention. I always ask permission. I don't want to be a know-it-all. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a financial planner. I'm none of those things. I'm a mortgage guy, but I also am a property investor. And I understand money very well. Now, for a 10th grade dropout, I do pretty damn good. So I want to help you too, particularly you physicians. By the way, if you're a physician, you should ask me about my physician loan. 100% financing, no PMI, and I've opened it up to physicians assistants and nurse practitioners. How do you like that? 100%, no PMI. And there's a lot of forgiveness when it comes to student loans. If you need anything on that, call me now at 813-213-4009 or in Orlando at 407-706-3313 or go to WeBringYouHome.com. Get your application made there. Just because you apply online does not mean you're not going to get a one-on-one consultation with me. I do one-on-one consultations, or at least offer it to every single client. I like strategizing. I like meeting you in person, but if I can't meet you in person, I get it. You're busy. We'll do it on a Zoom meeting, but we're going to get to know each other so I can be a better advocate for you. That's what I do. Now, we got a lot to talk about today because a lot of things happened this week. The Fed had their Fed meeting from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There's another meeting scheduled for September. So I do want to talk about what happened in the Fed meeting. I also want to get into new updates on the Florida tax relief. But before we do that, I just want to open this up right now to see if you've got questions about construction to perm lending. Maybe you're a builder and you are building homes out there and you need a builder line of credit. I got a great builder line of credit. I got great builders that I recommend. Looking to build a home in the Palm Bay area, I've got a builder right now we're working with called Crown Builders, and they are doing a bang up job. I love what they're doing out there, and they'll pay your closing costs when you use Cross Country Mortgage. I can do a construction perm loan for you. I can build on your own lot, or you can buy one of their specs. How about that? Anything you need, you call the Lone Ranger right now in Orlando at 407-706-3313 or go to WeBringYouHome.com. All right, let's get into a little bit of news here. So Fed had its meeting. Wednesday was Warsh's real first town hall meeting. It's just the state of the country. So I want to just really dive into this thing. So the Federal Reserve here's what they did. They decided to leave short-term interest rates unchanged, but the vote was not unanimous. 3 Fed members wanted to raise rates immediately. That's a strong signal to the Fed is still concerned about inflation and that other hikes, like in September at the next meeting, remain a real possibility. So, folks, you heard me. September, there is a very strong chance that there's going to be a Fed hike. So, if you are considering buying or refinancing, I'm highly recommending you call me now, 813-213-4009. Go to webringyouhome.com. Get your application made now. It's not a time to be floating it. And all of us that thought interest rates would be going down about now, it ain't going to happen. So here, this is what really matters. The Fed has one priority goal: get inflation back down around 2%. Right now, we're running supposedly around 3.3%. And that's way above the target. Another broad measure in inflation across the economy came in much hotter than economists expected, suggesting price pressures may be stubborn. So that really has a lot of impact. So, what happened to mortgage rates? After the Fed announcements, long term bond yields moved a little higher as investors adjusted to the possibility of higher interest rates for the longer. Remember, mortgage rates aren't tied directly to the Fed Reserve, but they are heavily influenced by the bond market. The bond yield rises, mortgage rates oftentimes face upward pressure as well. What's the Fed watching? The Fed officials pointed to several. There's a phone call. I can't take it right now. I'll have to call you back. The Fed pointed out several factors that could keep inflation elevated. Tariffs, they may increase the cost of imported goods. Ongoing geopolitical tensions, including the conflict in Iran, massive investments into AI infrastructure, which is driving demand for labor, materials, and electricity. These are all factors that could keep inflation from falling as quickly as the Fed would like. What does that mean for home buyers? Don't try to time the market. I can tell you that. No one knows exactly what mortgage rates will be in September or by the end of the year. If you're financially ready to buy a home, then buy it today. Focus on finding the right house at the right price, not trying to predict the next Fed meeting or what interest rates are going to be. It doesn't matter if they're 6 or 7. As long as they're not 9, you're going to be fine. Because even if they were 9, my first house I bought, they were 13. I got a 9.9% adjustable rate for my first house, and I made a ton of money on that place. You can always refinance later if rates improve. We don't charge any lender fees for our clients when we refinance them. So here's the deal. The headlines tell you what's happened. My job is to tell you what it means for your mortgage. Before you make one of the biggest financial decisions of your life, let's look at your numbers. Your numbers are for you. When I got clients call me up and say, my friend did this, my friend did that, and he did that, and she did that, it doesn't matter. They're not you. Don't compare your insides with your friends' outsides. It's not possible. Everyone's different and everyone's circumstances are different. And today is a different day than yesterday. If you're thinking about buying or refinancing, I want you to call the loan arranger right now in Tampa at 813-213-4009. That's 813-213-4009. Or go to webringyouhome.com. That's webringyouhome.com. All right. So now in the next segment, I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to talk about what is going on with the Florida property tax relief. So I'm going to want you to stay with me. In the meantime, I just want to cover a couple of other things that I think are really important right now. And one of those things is just understanding who's buying in the market and how can you buy. So right now, we are seeing that there are a lot of first-time home buyers that have decided to jump into the market. And I think that is a very important feature right now. But there's a lot of pressure on first-time home buyers when we call it the rent trap. So the rent trap is, have you ever wondered why so many hardworking people feel like they're running on a treadmill? They're paying their rent every month. Their income has gone up. They're working harder than ever, but somehow they never seem to get any closer to buying a home. They're not lazy. They're not irresponsible. They're trapped. I call it the rent trap. And here's the problem with the rent trap. As rents have gone up, and remember, I'm a landlord too, so I can see this from both sides of the fence. I want to make money on my property. I'm not going to give it away. It's for my retirement, but I also want to be fair to my tenants. So here's what changed. Years ago, rent was temporary. You rented while you saved money to buy a home. You rented while you saved money to buy a home. That was the American dream. Today, rent has become an obstacle. Instead of helping people save, it's preventing people from saving. So back in the 1990s, the average apartment rented for about $450 a month. That same apartment averages $1,750 a month nationally. And in Florida, these markets are somewhere the same. I'm seeing them $1,850, to be honest with you. It's considerably more. Think about that. How do you save for a down payment when your rent is consuming such a large portion of your paycheck? And here's where I disagree with most people. Most people think, I'll just keep renting until I save more. But here's the problem. Every year you're waiting and rent gets worse and higher. And home values may increase, but you're writing the check every month and it never gets anywhere. So you don't get anywhere. So here's the thing. The myth is you don't have to put 20% down to buy a house. I got 0 down payment loans available for you, folks. 3% down, 3.5% down. VA is 0. USDA is 0. And I have 100% FHA. Come on. There's no reason. So now listen, if you put no more money, if you don't put any money down, obviously your payments are going to be higher than if you put a down payment down. But get into the house now. 813-213-4009 is my phone number. That's 813-213-4009, or go to webringyouhome.com. Okay, what if you don't qualify? Maybe not. Most people have never actually spoken to a lender, and the ones they do, they're calling their bank or credit union, and they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. It's terrible. Myth number 3. I'll wait until rates drop. You're going to be waiting a long doggone time, folks. When rates come down, more buyers jump into the market. Competition increases. Prices often move higher. Sometimes they're even higher than you expected. I'll tell you what. Is it a better financial decision than tomorrow's higher purchase price? I don't think it is. I think you buy now, and if rates drop, you refi. You know the old saying, marry the house, date the rate. Here's the good news. Every week I help people through this that they thought couldn't even buy. Self-employed people, teachers, police officers, veterans, young folks, retirees, people who had simply been told no before. The reality is many of them qualified all along. They just didn't know it, or they didn't have somebody creative enough to actually help them. I'm going to tell you something. I'm the Lone Ranger. And if you're going to get a mortgage, you're going to get it from me. I'll guarantee you I got the best terms, the best rates, the best service, the best return phone call policies. 813-213-4009, 813-213-4009, or webringyouhome.com. Listen, if you're feeling a little chunky up there, you're looking in the mirror this morning and that muffin top's looking a little pudgy, then call me. I went to a place called Age Rejuvenation. I lost 77 pounds. I'm telling you, folks, I never even went to the gym, and I've kept it off for almost 2 years. So listen, this company does not pay me to advertise for them, not 1 red cent. But here's what they do. They give you massive discounts. So call me and I'll connect you so you don't have to look in the mirror anymore and be disgusted with yourself. It's time to start looking purty. You owe it to your husband and your wife and to yourself. I'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Lone Ranger Show.